Welcome back to Talking Winter Ops. It's that time of year again when we sit down with other organizations working in winter maintenance to catch up on what they've been doing this past year. I'm Rick Nelson, and I'll be your host for the 2026 National Winter Maintenance and Road Weather Briefing Series. These briefings give us an opportunity to catch up with our partners in winter maintenance and road weather, learn about what they've been working on over the past year, and hear about their plans for the future. More importantly, they give you a chance to see how these ideas, tools, and initiatives might fit into your own operation. Before we get started, I'd like to recognize the organizations that make these briefings possible. First, a big thank you to the AASHTO Winter Weather Management Technical Service Program, the sponsor of Talkin' Winter Ops, its parent committee, the AASHTO Committee on Maintenance, and its close partners in the Maintenance Operations Technical Working Group. And of course, thanks to the state DOTs whose annual contributions to the Winter Weather Management Technical Service Program make it all possible. So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's catch up with our partners across the country to hear about what's new and what's coming up next. This segment focuses on PIARC's Winter Service Technical Committee, and with us is Peter Nutz with the City of Vienna, Austria, and also chair of the Technical Committee. Welcome, Peter.
Yeah, hello, welcome, Rick. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's been a whole year. It's time to catch up on what you all been doing.
Yeah, well, we had this huge congress. That was great. So, as you know, PIARC, we have like a big winter congress every 4 years. And it happened this year in March in Chambéry in France. And it was beautiful scenery. Perfect for winter. You had, in the French Alps and the mountains. And of course, we had a lot attendees. So we were expecting like 800, 1,000, but we doubled that number. We had around 2,000 attendees. It was really a success. And part of it was that PIARC widened the subject. So it's winter service, but they also include resilience and decarbonization to this topic to attract more countries. As a worldwide organization, it's hard to get all countries interested in winter service because I guess half of the world is doing winter service, the other half don't really need to do much winter service. So, but it was really great, and we had like 24 sessions for winter service dedicated to winter service, and around 10 for decarbonization and 10 for resilience. So it was around 45 sessions and with 300 accepted papers that were presented. It's really nice, big congress. Yeah.
And as part of the Congress, there's also an equipment show. Was there an equipment show at this Congress as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I could see. You got two shows. You got one indoors where you got, the new software or new smaller parts, and then you got an outdoor show with some trucks and some spreaders you could see. And we also had the snowplow championship, the World Snowplow Championship outside, which was really fun to watch. All the drivers. We had, I think, like 12 countries participating, and it was a really nice event. And Slovenia won the congress, the contest.
Oh,
yeah,
very good.
Because we won last time, so but we got fourth this time. So, but it was a really great competition, and the drivers they had some party together, which was really nice to see, and I think that was the most important thing to also appreciate the work of the drivers, bringing them up, with all the decision makers on this congress, and also giving them their awards in front of all the audience there from the Congress. That was really a great, and really good drivers from all over the world competed against each other. That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just looking on my notes. Yeah. So with RTC, we had to chair all these 24 sessions, which was a lot of work to do, but we got it done. It was nice to have that many chairs also within the PIARC committee, and really happy and proud to have such an active committee with a lot of members that really help making such things a success. And we also had some like foresight sessions and special projects, which foresight sessions they are think a bit more like in the future and a bit on a more strategic level, and that was nice to hear on these parts. And we also had worked together with CIRVEC, the road weather, and they had I think 2 or 3 sessions were reserved for CIRVEC as part of the foresight session. So this was really great integration with another organization. I'm not sure if you have CIRVEC also on the list, but you might do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and what was really great about the Congress, so you could see a lot of things developing, like this new technology in winter service with automated spreader control and route designing and also new spreaders. And it's things that you see every 4 years, but it's not the same because you can see the development of these techniques. And with this AI coming up in the last years, there's been huge progress in this part for like automatization. And it was important for us because since we as a TC, we have focused on one part of our work was focusing on the workforce in winter service.
Mm-hmm.
We saw when we started this cycle that it was a worldwide problem, getting enough people to work in winter service. It's a hard job. It's stupid times to work on because snow does not know any
That's right.
and working time. Yeah, so it's like snowing. I don't know, almost every time on the weekend or during the night or whatever, and you have got drivers out there. So we try to find. We try to look what the others do because you don't know to invent the wheel twice or 3 times or whatever. So maybe you can see someone else is doing that might work in your organization as well. And we were trying to compile this in one thing. And we could see another step is that with this all this technology and sensor getting more and more integrated in the spreaders, that it's much easier for the drivers to work with in winter service because you have to drive. You got the snowplow. It's snowing. It's dark. Probably you need to focus on driving, and then but you should also use the plow, the spreader with the correct spreading amount and whatever. So this is really hard. Of course, experienced drivers can do this, but at least in Europe we got much less snow events. So even if we've got drivers that were drive for us like for 2-3 years, and maybe if it was snowing, they were not on their shift. They had their free time, and this is a huge help for them if you can automate at least the spreading part of it. And I've seen the progress in this field. It's really great to see that so much work is done there.
Yeah, and I think this idea of artificial intelligence is really going to create an impact in that area because it can capture, that institutional knowledge and apply it for the driver.
Yeah, yeah, and it's really also not for the driver, also for the decision makers. It supports their decisions, but. You can see if this is progressing, you can see then the other end. Well, if the machine or the AI is taking the decision, well, who is responsible for it then? So we had this discussion as well, and I think everyone who is looking into this will end up at some point at this discussion, okay, but who's responsible? And it has to be a human right now. So it's a huge help, but there are also some things you need to think about it a bit more. It's
Right.
2 sides of one coin, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and what you could also see is the advancing input data you get from, like, most cars have so many sensors built in them, and are also connected to the car companies, and they're sending this data back. And um, there is now some good use of this data. You can see, like, where it's slippery, where it's raining, and the temperatures and so on. And this is also a thing that, like, you can follow, and you can see that the really fast development in this stuff. Yeah. That was really great to see. Yeah.
So you're getting close to the end of your 4-year cycle. When will the cycle end?
So the cycle will end in October 27 with the huge World Road Congress. It will be closer to you this time. It will be in Vancouver, Canada.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So the call for papers is open already, and it would be great. So the call for papers is open. It started with the call for abstracts, and it's open until the 31st of August this year. So
Okay.
if you're thinking about submitting an abstract, you've got 2 more months to submit it, and it would be great to have a lot of abstracts to go through, and to select the best ones. And of course, this is the huge road congress, so it's not focused on winter, but it's really focused on everything related to roads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, you have been working on, your technical committee has been working on a few projects throughout this last 4 years. Could you refresh us on what those projects are?
So the biggest project we had was the Winter Congress, which we are happy we finished, and it was a success. But with this Winter Congress, we also finished the Snow and Ice Data Book. So this is a huge document, and it compiles information from a bit more than 20 countries about winter service. So what's the geographical location, the weather, the regulations you have, the techniques you use, maybe some special projects you use, and it's made up in the same contents for every country, so you can compare, and you can look for the northern countries or the countries with harder winter if you want to prepare a special scenario for some worst case scenario. And so, and that's been published, in the English version has been published already.
Okay.
So that's the 2 we've already finished, and then we've got one more about winter service in urban areas. Because in urban areas, winter service is quite different from highways. It's completely different. You get much smaller vehicles, much smaller narrow roads, or bicycle lanes. We had a huge focus on bicycle lanes because that's becoming more and more popular to do winter service on bicycle lanes. And we had there will be a first. No, it should be finished already. A briefing note. Usually briefing note is short, but this one is around 15 pages with the results of our first questionnaire, where we compile the information of the cities we asked, and if we've got around 70 cities that gave us answers, and it's good to see what are they working on.
Mm-hmm.
We also asked the cities if they are doing some special projects, and we are now for the next 1.5 year, we are trying to find some best practices and case studies that we select, and then we prepare for a technical report by October 27 for the World Road Congress to be published. There will also be a report on the skills and resources for winter service. It's the topic I already mentioned. So how do you get people to work in winter service?
Mm-hmm.
That should be finished really soon, but we're still polishing it. So give us a few more months, but this will be published soon as a case studies and the briefing note. And
You know, I think that's a problem that is universal, trying to find people to work in winter service, and I'm looking forward to seeing that report and seeing if you've got any
yeah, that's
really good ideas that we can leverage.
yeah, and it's funny because we split up the feedback we gave, and you can see that, like we asked the people, how do you motivate your employees? And the one point was like giving them money, giving them extra free time, and you could see that giving more money is not everywhere successful.
Hmm.
It was really it's different around the world, and that was really interesting to see. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
there's different motivators for different
yeah,
people, and
yeah,
when you and I got started in the business, the motivations I think were different than the things that motivate workers today.
yeah, that's true. And also, um, of course, we then ask, okay, how what type of motivation worked for you? So it's also like, you can go through the case studies and, oh, that's a good idea. I might try this in my organization. Maybe this works.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so this will be published soon. We have another technical report which will be bigger. It's about the integration of new technologies in winter service. So it's a really wide spectrum. It's basically where we put everything that's new, where people try new things, new methods, maybe also AI, and make a lot of case studies and put them together in this technical report. That will be finished for the Congress. So also
Okay.
October 27. Yeah. Um, uh, yeah. So that's the things we are. It's only 2 meetings left before the last cycle ends. So it's really the third cycle is the last meeting is already the Congress. So yeah, it's quite a lot to do.
Well, and this is the gets to be the busy time where you're
Yeah.
trying to finish up the reports
Yeah.
and translate them into different languages. The reports are still offered in English, and what are the other languages?
Yeah, languages are French and Spanish. So PIAC has three official languages: English, Spanish, and French, and it will be published in all three languages. But since the whole work group speaks English, we usually publish the English version first,
I see.
because it's the first one that's finished, and then you've got translate and check for the translation and so on. But yeah, that's the three languages, and yeah, so it's still some work to do, but we have also some good news or maybe some bad news. You never know, because the general secretary of PIARC, they changed. Um,
Oh.
your PIAC has this rule where you can do a job only for 2 cycles, so 8 years.
Hmm.
Um, and so Patrick Maleshak, the Secretary General for the last 2 cycles, 2.5 cycles already, his mandate ended this March, and Miguel Casa Flores, he will be the new Secretary General, and we've got Nadia Lapia from Canada. She will be the new Deputy Secretary General, and a new Technical Director, Mallory Trouvé. So it's got new fresh energy in PIAC General Secretariat, and yeah, but it's good for us at TC because we always get a lot of support from them,
Hmm.
and we also have the freedom to if we see, okay, this product, so like we've got, this should be a questionnaire, but it might be better as a report, or we changed it, the type of product we do. We got some flexibility there, and it's really good for us as a working
Yeah.
group.
Okay. Good.
So
Let's see. The is the planning for the next cycle starting yet, or will that come a bit later?
no, it's kind of started. So we are already thinking about the next cycle. What we include of winter service, of course, will be a topic again. So like PIAC, they have around 27 7 TCs, and not all of them continue in the next cycle, but winter service is one that continues usually every cycle, so winter service will continue as well. And we're not sure about the topics we look on. But very in discussion. It will be, so of course new technologies will be, and AI will be maybe some focus, but it's not sure if this should be as one special TC only doing AI stuff, or should it be spread out to the different TCs. So there are still some discussions ongoing, but it's good to be included in discussions already. And yes, we can start in the next cycle. We can already start with working on the issues we have.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's important for the listeners here in the U.S. to understand the time frame that PIARC operates under. It's a 4-year cycle. The committee stands up at the beginning of the 4 years. Fresh set of projects. Of course, there's the Winter Congress that has become, that's a tradition. And when the cycle's over, the reports are written, the products are produced, and then the committee sort of disbands and then reformulates again for the next 4-year period to work on the next pieces, which I think is a really unique approach, because you see a beginning and this middle and the end. You reevaluate the things that you should be looking on that are timely, and then you go and you spend the next period looking at that. I think that's a really unique model that PIARC follows.
Yeah, and it's great as well, because you've got a lot of fresh faces, new faces every cycle. So it's good to have some experience because it takes some time to learn how PIARC works. So it's a good mixture of new ones that bring in fresh stuff, and older ones, more experienced ones that already know how PIARC works, and that's a great mixture. Yeah.
So Peter, this will finish your second cycle, is that right? Or is this
Yes,
your
that's
first
right.
cycle? So they'll be looking for a new chair.
Yeah, well, yes. It's my second cycle, so I'm planning on staying on the TC, but not as a chair, and hopefully find a good successor.
All right. Well, it's been great working with you. I enjoyed our time when we were together on the TC years past, and it's great to catch up with what's going on internationally. And you think you've got a unique set of problems, but when people come together from across the world and start comparing notes, it's like, yeah, it's the same problem everywhere. And the unique thing is the different approaches give you a really broad opportunity to see what might work best for your organization.
Yeah, that's really one of the great things PIARC delivers. Yeah.
All right. Any other news to report from the Winter Service Technical Committee?
Not yet. So we're about to publish all the reports. The reports are free still, so you have to register at piarc.org. But and after you register, you can download all the content for free. So we'll have them published hopefully soon. But also the old reports are pretty good, and you get a lot of things to learn from it, and all of things, ideas that worked or maybe not worked. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, Peter. We'll put the website to the URL to the website in our show notes, so people have easy access to the Winter Service Technical Committee and all of those past reports.
Yeah.
Well, Peter, it's been great catching up. Please stay on for just a little bit. We'll stop the recording and get everything uploaded.
Yeah.
But thanks so much for joining us for the national briefing this year.
Thanks for having me, Rick.
Thanks for listening in on this year's national briefing. You can catch them all and other Talkin' Winter Ops episodes on our website, talkinwinterops.com. at the AASHTO Winter Weather Management website at transportation.org/winter-weather-management, or wherever you get your podcast content. Video versions of this briefing are available on our Talkin' Winter Ops YouTube channel. Now, if something in this briefing sparked your interest, you can email me or our guests to keep the conversation going. Until next time, thanks for tuning in and stay safe out there.